That's fine. We're gonna just set up the stream.
And the feed is good?
You can start recording.
Yeah, I already pushed it. Cool. And that one's on?
Excellent. All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Anka Mashoyu, and I am a programmer by trade. So I'm here to talk about regular expressions. I got talked into this by Marina. It's, I guess, not that hard. I've not done this workshop before, so we're going to kind of go through some stuff, and I definitely want to hear a little bit about what you guys are interested in learning. So if we can maybe just go around the room real quick and just say your name and maybe something about what you're trying to do with your programming experience. So I'll pick on Marina first.
I'm Marina, trying to make a gallery, like a portfolio gallery, and that involves lots of pictures that I want to do things to. So regular expressions are important for that, manipulating lots of pictures.
Great.
My name is Tyler. I want to do a lot of cool stuff. It's just a hobby of mine.
Okay. Okay, great.
My name's Tucker. I am sitting boat. It's kind of want to learn more, and I love the other stuff.
Okay, and do you have any experience with well, we'll get back to that. All right, first in the back.
My name is Terry, and I'm doing as much non-blocking asynchronous programming as I can with streams
Okay.
and unstructured.
All right.
Compensated.
I think you've come to the right place.
I'm Casey, and just trying to learn as much of the full stack web thing as I can. Right now, I'm building a site that ranks cafes based on the Wi-Fi speed.
Cool. All right.
Colleen. I worked in this project for a couple of years, but not in programming. I've taken a few programming courses, and I'd like to just learn more about it.
Okay. Great.
Oh, I'm Ruby. I'm an iPhone programmer, but I've fallen into this world of Node just because the people here are so punk rock. So I'd like to learn more web development. I never thought this would ever happen, but it did. And now I'm here.
Falling into the world of Node. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Davida, and I just like to learn a whole lot of stuff and pick up where I left off, really general.
Great.
Oh, I'm James of Substack. I like helping people learn programming. I think it's fun, so I've been here helping people,
Cool.
hacking on my own stuff too.
All right. And what do you work on besides this stuff?
A lot of open source modules, a lot of little web apps and little experiments.
Okay.
I'm Johnny, and I use code to superpower everything else I do, such as music, art, organization, working with my communities, and everything else. And I'm into the whole teaching stuff.
Great. All right. Well, so like I said earlier, I'm Anka. I've been a web developer for a long time, since like when we were making the web in 1994. So that's a long time. But I love teaching people stuff, and in particular, I think regular expressions are one of the most powerful, deepest sort of cyber wizardry stuff that you can learn. And they've helped me personally do things in 45 minutes instead of the 8 to 10 hours other people take to do those things. So there's a few things that if you learn them, they're kind of complicated and obscure, and you'll always be looking up how to do it. But if you learn about the concept and actually use them every so often, you'll find that you can do a lot of stuff with a lot of text. And text, the web is made of text, so computers do a huge amount of text processing, and so regular expressions are a great way to make it easier to tell them exactly what they should do. So I wrote a little thing here, but I think I might have lost it in a crash. There we go. Yeah. So I need to zoom in here. So some of the kinds of things that regular expressions are good for. Let's just go to like whatever larger font. Can you guys read that? All right. Yes. Yeah. So you can use regular expressions to analyze log files. So if you've ever written an application, you're trying to have it tell you what's going on and then spit out a whole bunch of text. It's a great way to go through those files and figure out when did this happen, or how many times did this particular bug occur in a certain time period. htaccess file wizardry. So if you use, or really if you're programming your web server, htaccess is only for Apache. But if you're trying to redirect URLs and change what the web browser sees from stuff behind the scenes in your server, you'll wind up using regular expressions. Search and replace for things that are hard to describe. So, hard to do with just one unit. So you can say things like, replace all the span tags that have a class title with div tags. That's not really easy to do with just replacing everything, because you'll have some text inside there. So each of those span tags will be unique inside your file, but you can change just those tags using regular expressions. So places where you can do regular expressions. Last line here, but when you're at the command line, you can use them to search through files. Some UI-based ways of searching your server might also include the ability to use regular expressions, but they're not always obvious. You can use them in your text editor. So I know you guys have been learning about Vim. How many of you guys have used Vim? All right, perfect. Yeah, so that's a great place to do it. If you're writing rewrite rules for web servers, like I said earlier, if you have some program that supports regular expressions, for my coding environment, I use EVEdit, partly because I can do all kinds of files with it and use regular expressions. And then in code with PHP, Perl, JavaScript, etc. So most of these programming languages have some kind of a way to run regular expression or to replace certain kinds of text. They have slightly different ways of doing it, but we're gonna start with the command line because that's kind of the easiest way to go. So. One sec. So this is, I do a lot of WordPress development, so I'm just going to use this directory structure. You guys can do this type of file searching, or well, we're gonna search through files for certain things, but you can do this on any other directory that you have on your computer. If you have the command line, you can just do that. If you do it in Vim, we can also try that. We can open up a file and then do some search and replace in there, just using the text editor. But the first thing that you can use this for, when you're on a server and you're logged in to a shell, you can go and find out certain things like, let's see. Let's go into something that has a bunch of stuff. Well, so here's here's a SQL file. So I can go in here and maybe try to find anywhere that, or any of the files in here that, actually, sorry, one sec. All right, so this is something I was doing earlier. So this is a little application that has some PHP files in several different directories. And I want to find everywhere they're using table tags in their HTML. So I can use, well, let's see. Let's look at one of these files. So let's just look at this. This is just the a text file. We'll start with something small. So here it tells us who the contributors are. It gives us some information. This is a markdown file. So it's got a bunch of stuff in here. Does it bother you that my thing is transparent? Okay, 'cause sometimes.
Could you make the text larger?
Yeah.
Larger? Okay.
Yeah, this looks great on my screen, but I just noticed that it's a little fuzzy here. So okay. So let's see if I wanted to find out if any files have the word dashboard in here. I can type grep. And it's going to tell me, how many of you have used grep? Okay. So grep is the command, it's one of the command line's search programs. And you can, grep searches through files for strings or for bits of text. There's another command that searches for files, which is called find, but that one doesn't look at the contents of those files. I forget exactly what grep stands for, but we can look it up. This is one of the oldest programs that has been around for many, many years, and it stands for globally search a regular expression and print. Okay, so grep is actually a way to search for regular expressions and print out the lines in the file that contain that expression. So there's a couple of other applications that do text replacing. One of them is called sed, so we can do that if we get to that point. But this one just searches and tells you where stuff is. So here I did grep for the word dashboard, and that's fine. It gave me this line of text. And it looks like they have several different instances where they did stuff to the admin dashboard. So if I was looking for whether or not this file had changed or some feature had changed, I could search for that in here. Yeah. So these are 3 different lines, and usually, I think there's a way to have it tell you what line number this happened on, but. 1 dot, okay. So let me just open up this file here, because let's open the markdown file. All right, so here I am. This is in VI. So we're looking at this file, and if you're in VI, you can find the same things, or if you're in Vim, you can find the same things on the command line by doing a colon, a slash, which tells you that you're going to start searching for something, and let's do dashboard. Oops, it's not in here. This is a different README file. I didn't know I had opened it.
I think it was .txt.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, yeah, you can just do a slash also, but I can do slash dashboard. And here it is, and I can type N to go next. This is great if you're logged into like a server and you have to like edit a configuration file and try to find some domain name or something and change it. So then you can also, let's see, so I don't know, let's see. Yeah, so you can also go in here and see that here's a link. So let's try to find this information, maybe this link to, let's find all the links. So here you can just do a slash and then you start. This will find all the links that, all this begin link tags. So if you keep searching there, so if you go next, it's going to take you all to the beginning. But if we also wanted to go to the end of the link line, then we're going to use a regular expression. So we can search for instead, let's search for a less than, a star and an A. I actually want to search for one. Yeah, so this is going to get us all of the,
It's like 5 times bigger.
5 times bigger. Okay. Let's try that. Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so now I'm searching for, let's see. We're going to go to a web-based way to look at this in just a second. I think that might be a little bit easier. So here we're going to search for .a. So you'd think that this would get you to everything that was a less than a period and an A, but when you do that, you'll notice that it actually takes me to this, at the end of my A tag. Where's my mouse pointer? Here we go. See right there? So it's found less than /A. And then if I go to the next line, again, it found the less than, the slash, and the A. So that's kind of interesting. So we found the end of the link, but not the beginning of the link. So we can also try, instead of the less than .a, we can try *A. And star is another special character that says search for any number of characters and then an A. That's going to get us a different result. And here we are. So here now calendar. We found calendar because there was a less than here. So it's going to find all the A's that come after a less than sign. That's again not exactly what we want. Let's see. So now we're going to go to the handy dandy regular expressions cheat sheet that James provided. We'll zoom into this. So let's see, it looks like this is the list of all the little special characters that you can use in regular expressions that give them a lot of the power. So we looked at the dot already. So the dot matches any one character, including the dot. And then question mark says 0 or 1 times. So maybe we could try matching the dot 0 or 1 times. So regular expressions, you can kind of combine all of these things into these sort of long chains of very, very specific and extremely compact rules. So here, let's try looking for this by doing a dot question mark A. 0 or 1 times. I actually just want it to match it 1 time. 0 or 1 times. Okay, well that didn't work.
You might have to do a escape in front of the question mark because
Oh yeah.
Vim is all weird like that.
Let's try it. Okay, so actually I'm going to go to the regular expression tester, which is a web-based interface for this, which is what I use to kind of help me figure this out. And then I'm also going to show you some of the documentation that's out there. And feel free to ask questions because I'm not really exactly sure where I'm going with this. So yeah, please feel free to ask questions. And if anybody's on the live stream, how do they contact us if they have a question?
I'm watching IRC.
You're watching? Okay, great. Okay, so yeah, so let's grab our text string. So maybe let's copy paste some stuff in here. Oh yeah, you use the text of Moby Dick. Maybe I'll do that. We'll find Captain Ahab. Let's see how I use Frankenstein. All right, let's use we'll use Frankenstein. All right, so we're going to grab the HTML for this thing. And we're going to paste it into our regular expression tester, which did not barf with a large amount of text. So this is the HTML version of of Frankenstein, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which I got off of Project Gutenberg. So we'll use that to do some things with regular expressions. So this one doesn't do replace. One of the things to note about this particular tool is it shows down on the side the flavor of regular expressions. So PCRE, if you're going to use regular expressions in PHP, you'll use this format. JavaScript is there's a very small difference in how this works, and so you can change the syntax a little bit. And then Python, which is a little bit more different in that it has quotes instead of slashes to denote the regular expression. So earlier in VI, what I was doing when I was typing a slash is I was telling VI that I was starting a search with a regular expression. So you'll see that also when you use regular expressions in other places. And we can find some examples online and maybe deconstruct them. And I have a really, really good example of this that I did a couple of weeks ago, but I don't have it on this computer, so if I can remember where I put it, maybe we can go through that. But, okay, so here we can search for, let's see, HTML. And this might be a lot of text for this thing to parse through. Okay. Here, HTML matches the characters exactly. What this means is that there's specific text in here that it found. It's telling me some other information, like no match groups were extracted. Something that you can do with regular expressions as you write them is to find these text groups. They're called match groups, but they're strings that are left over when you match something. So if you wanted to do, let's see. Maybe if we do something like head star, I think this is too much text. Let's shorten this book a little bit. One thing about regular expressions is that they're extremely precise. And so it's exactly how you write it makes a lot of difference. It's even more so than JavaScript, where you have to make sure you put a semicolon at the end of stuff or use curly braces. But it's fun to work with that. So okay, here we go. So now we can match the head portion of this document.
Dot star.
Dot star. Oops. Thank you. Okay. So now I'm saying unescape delimiter. Oh yeah, because this is a slash. So now I need to escape that. So does everybody know about escaping strings?
We haven't done
Sounds kind of weird, right? So a lot of programming involves special characters that you use to denote certain things. So in regular expressions, for example, this slash means the beginning and the end of a regular expression. So by putting one in here, I've done something illegal that doesn't work with the code. So, for example, and when you're printing out something like printing a string or echoing it or console.logging it or defining it, if you want to use a quote inside your string, you have to put a special thing in front of it to make it be inside the string instead of the end of the string. So that's called escaping a string. And so here I used a backslash. So this backslash is often a backslash, which is the opposite of this guy, /. So a backslash says whatever the thing is that comes after this is what I mean. I don't mean this to be a special character or match one or more or the beginning of the line or any of that stuff. It is whatever it is, in this case a backslash or a slash. So this pattern does not match the subject string. So does this not have a head? It has a head. Does it not have a slash head?
Dot does not match new lines if
Dot
you're
does
in
not match new lines.
PCRE.
Aha, okay. So this is where we, right on. So what James said is that dot star does not match like new lines, which are carriage returns, which are yet another special character. Excellent. So if I were to turn this into a single line, it would be fine, but I need to figure out how to tell it to match new lines. Maybe I'll switch over to the JavaScript version.
I think it's similar. If you added S to the instead of M on the right in the
Here. Oh.
yeah, that might work.
Nope.
I'm not sure. Maybe there's no slash head.
matches any characters. No, there is a slash head.
Okay.
But if you only copy part of the text, then it might not get the slash head. Oh no, you're
No,
right.
it's,
Never mind. There
it's,
is.
well,
It's
I made sure to get the head. It's not the head that's big, it's the rest of the body of this text. But, okay. So, well, shucks. So how do I match a new line? Does that,
You do it.
white space? Words?
You could use a capture group with a dot.
Ah, okay. I can try that.
Or
okay.
a character class, I mean.
What's a character class?
That's a character class is when you have a list of characters that are all valid.
Okay, so that, okay, great. So, let's see, so if I do, but then there's a special character for the new line, which I guess would be like /n or,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
one common thing you can do is if you include a character group like new line or white space and the opposite of white space, which is just capitalized like a /s and /S in the same character class, that will match every character.
every character, okay, right, so let's see, so /s,
Or backslash. S.
backslash, no, that's what I want, so matches, the head character literally matches a single character present in the list below. What's the list below?
Backslash.
Oh,
S.
there's a list below, okay. Oh, this is great. This thing that explains what it's doing is really helpful, although it takes a few readings to understand what it's saying. Okay, so you said /s?
Yeah. And backslash capital S.
Or /S.
And then you can put a star outside the character.
Okay, so,
And that repeats it. Yeah!
cool. Yeah, okay.
Yay.
Oh my gosh, okay. So, yeah, I do literally have to go whenever I use regular expressions for things more complicated to actually read what it's doing. Okay, so what this is doing is it's saying, let's see, matches any non-white space character, so any non-white space character. So like carriage returns, tabs, line feeds. Did you guys talk about the first? Okay, that's really not that. That's really in the weeds here. And then /s matches any white space character, and then star matches 0 to infinite times. Okay, so then we found all of these things, and it's actually giving us the head. So what's colored here in this is everything that it found. So if we wanted to remove the head from this document, we would match it right here, and then there's another way to replace it with nothing. But that also actually, this also replaces the head/head. So if we only wanted the stuff that was inside the head, I think we would do this. We would group it in a pattern group. So, okay, now what's happening here is I put these green parentheses around the stuff that I found. And it should, So it still has the head in here, and it has, okay, it matched, okay, yeah. So now we said, give us everything that's the head to the end of the head, but then take everything that's not specifically spelled out, that's inside the parentheses, and put it in something called a capture group, or a match group. So here it says match 1, and if this also works a lot better if you're on like a bigger monitor or higher resolution. This is a little hard to read, but you can see that this 1 period matches starting from this meta. So it's all of the text that, it's the space here, the line break here, and then this meta, and then all the way to, there's a little backtick here after /style. Oh yeah, that's the end quote. So that's the end of 1. Here's the beginning quote, and then all of that. So now I've matched everything inside my head, and I could, in theory, replace just the part of the document with a completely different head. And I wouldn't have to know what was the contents of this document. So Back in the olden days when we made HTML files and in the web with just text editors, that's what we had to do. So we would say, okay, we need to replace the menu in 150 HTML files, and you make a brand new menu, and you go through and run a script that does a regular expression that replaces whatever's in the head with the new contents of that. Or you can get more specific, like something inside a particular div tag, like I said earlier. So maybe we want to. Can we replace with this? Okay.
Do you want to just use sed on the
Yeah,
command line?
yeah. Well, we can do that, but I want to kind of look
right.
at more of the concept of capture groups. Okay, so why don't we try? We're still here in the head. What we could do is maybe we want to have different things happen to different parts of this document. So let's grab the title and the style block as two separate units of the match. So here what we can do is we can take this guy, and that may be the first part of our query. And we can put in title. Actually, we need to put title. And the // title. And then another dot star.
It's the same issue with dot not matching new lines.
That's right. Okay, so I need to do that actually.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I don't want to. So the first part of this, I don't want to put in a capture group, but the other parts I do, so I'll do that. Oops. There we go. Oh my God. Okay. So now we have, we're still, well, actually, hold on a second. Let's do okay. So now we have this much more complicated expression, and we have two different things that we grabbed out of this text. So we match the first part, which is the stuff inside the title. So this is the Project Gutenberg E-Text of Frankenstein by Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley. And then the second part of this is the style block all the way to the end of the style block. Actually, all the way, which is really before the end of the head tag. So now we have two different elements that we can do stuff with, either by searching for them or replacing them. So we could, for example, apply a new style block. We could say, okay, for every document where the title is whatever this is, insert this particular style tag or add a style tag at the end. So if you've ever seen on the command line, you might see, like, or in a script, you might see like $1 and $2. That actually refers to elements that you might have matched, and I'll show you that in a rewrite role file. So let's see. Okay, so we got groups of stuff. We've got a tool that lets us test for the content. And you can take this and paste it into places where you might change the text or things like that. So we're going to actually do this in my document here. So I'm going to save this as Frankenstein. And let's see. Okay. So here we are, the same document. We've looked at some regular expressions. We've got the title. We've got the style block. Um, okay. So I'm just gonna do the replacement with the first part. We're just gonna change the title of this document to something else. So I'm gonna get rid of that piece. That piece. And working with HTML and regular expressions is kind of cool, but you wind up with these really long things that have HTML tags in them. And there's ways to avoid that, but it's then even harder to read. So, okay, we have a match. So we know how we can extract the title from this document. And actually, we could do this. I'm going to do this, and then we can do it with, we can talk about how the fact that we can do this with any HTML file that has, all capitalized HTML elements. Regular expressions match are definitely case sensitive in this example. You're matching exactly capital H, capital E, capital A, capital D, not either way. So, okay, so let's copy that. Oh, here we are. Okay, so we have Frankenstein.txt here. So this is a command line application called sed. Sed will allow you to do a search and replace in a text file. So you can take a database or SQL file and replace stuff in there, or we can change the title of our Frankenstein document, which I guess I should have called Frankenstein.html. Technically, okay. So sed will let me type in, like I said earlier, a regular expression, so I'm going to paste that. So I'm putting a slash here in front. That's where, hello. There you are. I'm putting a slash here in front, and then another slash at the end to denote the beginning and end of the regular expression. And then I want to replace, the title with something else. Foo. And I think that's what that will do it. So
should be an S in front.
An S. Yeah, you're right. S means replace. So S slash. The thing before the slash tells it what to do. If it has if it's just a slash, it matches only. It doesn't modify the document. So the S will modify the document. What does S stand for in this case? Oh. All right. So let's demonstrate that the title is the Project Gutenberg E-Text of Frankenstein by Mary Wollstone Craft. So we just want it to be called foo, so let's try that. Sed-i may not be used with S. Oh, I have to tell it the file that it should do this to. So sed has this -i, it'll make a backup copy, so if I screwed it up, I can go back to my previous file. And then here's the command I told it to do, which is search and replace for in the head of the document. If there's a title tag somewhere else, just leave it alone. Replace the title, the stuff inside the title that we've captured with foo.
I think that'll just replace the entire head, but we can see.
We'll see, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So now we go here, and it didn't do it. Yeah, it is S, and then G. Pardon?
Were we looking at the right file? You said -i creates a backup. Or you were looking at...
Yeah, I was looking. Oh. No, let's see. Yes. so Frankenstein HTML, Frankenstein, so let's, yeah, no, it didn't actually do it. Okay.
Maybe
Maybe it
the
didn't do
.back file is the updated one?
There's, yeah, there's probably some special thing I have to tell SED to do.
Sed uses kind of an old, clunkier version of regex. If you do dash capital or dash lowercase r, it'll use the good one.
Duh, okay. Thank you.
Oh, right, you're on a Mac. I don't know how those work.
Okay, well, we can go to a Linux machine here. Let's copy this command. Okay, so now I'm on a Linux machine, and here's my HTML file, and we're going to try this exact same thing again. Unknown command dot. There's something to like here.
I think on Linux, I works differently.
Yeah, you're right. I think, let's see. Let's just try that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay.
But I edits in place. By default, Sed will just print a standard out.
Okay. Well, it didn't actually replace the text either. So, oh yeah, no, you're right.
Oh, because
so,
it won't edit in place. It'll be in the output.
Okay, so I didn't like I though.
You could pipe into less. You just do I by itself.
There we go. All right. Right, because on the Mac it needs the.
I don't know how the Mac
quotes for
works,
the backup
but.
file. And still it didn't work. My God. Okay.
Try dash R, maybe?
Like dash R. Let's try the not replacing in place, but. Yeah, no, it doesn't work. Damn it. Well, I can do it in my BB edit here. Let's try this. So this is BB edit, and it has this little grep version of search and replace, which doesn't. The syntax may be slightly different, but I'm searching for that, and then replace it with foo. Okay, so it found the entire head. Maybe I need to group these guys like that. BB edit has a slightly different method for doing the search and replace. I'm going to go do that. Here we go. Okay. Well, we could try something where we just actually do numbers and things. That may be a little bit simpler. So maybe rather than doing this, we'll do something a little bit simpler with something that has a lot of numbers. And that number. CSV file. What do you want the CSV file? All right, so here's a CSV file that's just a list of addresses. And yeah, so this is some text that we can fool around with. So let's look in here. So you can match things based on whether or not they're words, whether they're numbers, whether they're any characters. So we talked about the any character stuff. So let's try matching things that are numbers. So in here, you can't really see that. Shoot. Let's go back into our Regex tester. Okay. So now back to this. You can find groups of numbers by using, well, let's find words actually. So /W lets you find a word, which is any group of letters and numbers 0 through 9 and underscore. So, but not dashes. So this is actually one of the reasons why in some applications when you double click on like a variable name that has an underscore, it selects the whole thing, but if it has a dash, it doesn't. It's using something like this concept to match something that's a word. So it's going to match, pretty much everything in here except the stuff that the quotes and the commas. So why don't we? So why don't you do a word any number of times? Do that. No. How do we match individual words?
Plus you probably want?
So
inside
plus.
Inside the capture?
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
great. Yeah, so plus will match one or more words, and here it's matching, it's going to give us a list of a lot of, well, I guess it just matched the first one. If we do G, right here, it shows us, it highlights all the things it found. So here it is, here are all the words in here. Yes?
So if /W is words, why do you need to put it in a group?
Because I wanted to match all of the words. I could, if I didn't put it in a group, it would still match them, but then I couldn't address individual groups. So it's going to say these are all the words. So yeah, we'll come back around to that.
Okay.
I'll see if I can find another example that matches that. Okay. So we matched all the words. Now maybe we can try matching all the things that are numbers. So let's see, /D is all the digits. And I don't think the digits, well, I don't think it's going to matter if these are, yeah. So here it's matching all the digits even though they're inside words. So let's see. Yeah, so these are all just the numbers, not the dashes, none of that stuff.
We could put /B in front of the /D.
P or B?
B. Yeah.
Assert position and word boundary. So these are all of the numbers that are entire words.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so now we have everything that's not, so let's say that this was a file where you needed to identify, the IDs of things and the numbers, and you wanted to do something with that, but not, mess with any of this stuff. It's gonna match all of this and show it to you. So yeah, so there's that. And maybe we wanted to, what if we wanted to find all of these guys in the middle, the slugs? So these have like one or two characters and then a number after it. So now what we can try to do is, I think it would be, let's see, dot, was I would say /b for the word boundary, and then we would do a any characters and then a number. So would I group that like that, or would I put that in a?
You could use a character class that matches A through Z, because we don't want numbers. We only want letters.
No, we want these guys. So anything that's got both numbers and letters in the same word, or that starts with letters and ends with numbers.
Right. So we can get letters by doing square brackets, A dash Z, and then at the end we do /D for just the numbers.
And then a /D.
Yeah. But maybe a plus after each of those, because we want one or more.
There we go. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So
Can you say what that expression is?
yes. So then this is where so the way that James described it is the way that it's how you kind of learn to make the regular expression. So I said I wanted to get all of the words in this file that contain some letters at the beginning and some numbers at the end. So you said, let's see, so start with the character classes. So first we had the /b, which says we only want entire words. We probably don't need it though, so maybe let's take it away. Yeah, so it looks like we don't need it.
If we had some numbers and then some letters and then some more numbers,
Okay.
that would match.
Cool. So let's do that. But
Okay.
let's explain this with even fewer things.
Right.
Okay. So first we're going to get A through Z. So anything that's a lowercase a through Z. So if I go in here and make this a capital H, now there's an H, but only the G part matches. So if I then said /B, this one doesn't match, right?
Very good.
So, okay, so all lowercase a through Z, and then one or more letters. So, can I put a number like a +2 there to say exactly 2?
Yeah. Oh, with curly
like
braces.
curly braces. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, without the plus, because those are both quantifiers. Yep.
Okay. So the curly brace here says only give me ones where there are 2 letters and then a number. So if I go like that, now it's getting the GO and then the 205, but not the H. So this the /D at the end is any number. And we can also do the same thing here. We can say 0 through 9 instead of /D, but which a lot of people do because it's a little bit easier to read when you're just glancing at it. Okay, so we found all of these, and it looks like these have, WCV1, WCV2D. So these are a different format of the slug. So if we wanted to do something with just the ones that were 2 letters and numbers, like for example, figure out which of the files need to be renamed, you can use something to find that list. I'm trying to think of a photography example. Like what are you thinking about things like changing the names of files or?
Yeah, but the ones I'm doing are really simple. Like, it's like you resize, copy, and add TH at the end for thumbnail, right?
Okay.
What about the rename commands?
The rename commands.
Yeah. It should already be on your system. It uses a Perl regular expression. I don't know if you've ever used it. It's
No,
fantastic.
I have not. Okay, tell me more.
So it's probably already on your system. So if you open a terminal and type rename, or which rename?
Yes.
Yes, fantastic.
Woohoo! Okay.
So rename just takes, the first argument is like a Perl expression, but if you just use a regular expression with a substitution, and all of the other arguments are the file names that you want to operate on. So you can use a regex to modify file names in place.
Okay, all right. Now you're speaking the things I like to do. So, yes, I can go to my pictures directory here.
Just be careful.
Yes, that way lies madness. Yes. Okay, so here I have like my photo library, so you can find. Yeah. Okay. That's good. So actually, I'm not going to do this right this second because I wanted to finish the searching for this stuff. But we'll go back to it. I want to build the expression that we'll use to change the stuff.
Okay.
Have you guys learned about piping and stuff like that in the command line thing? Great. Yeah, and I think you can use regular expressions with fine too, right?
I don't know.
Some parts of it, because you can use star. Yes, well, I've done things like, for example, if I have all my pictures in a folder and they're called DSC 001, 002, blah, 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 you can change the names of all of those to the event name 001, the event name 002. So maybe we can try that. And those actually would match this. We can use this expression for that. So let's see. Okay, so these are some files that have very boring and useful names. So if we wanted to change their names, we could find the list of all the JPEGs and say we leave the AVI alone. So when you do find, you might type something like star.jpg. So what this is doing is also kind of a small regular expression. You can find matches every character .jpg. So it's finding all the DSC documents.
Oh yeah, you've got to be careful with the star because bash will actually expand that if you have anything in that directory. So it's helpful to put quotes around the star part,
yeah, okay.
or a backslash.
I should use double quotes there. Oops.
And those are capital JPEGs.
Yeah. It actually found them. That's really bizarre.
Yeah. I think the dot at the end.
Yeah,
But
what are you doing?
you could do a dash I name, I think. It'll do a case insensitive.
I'll just use the case
okay.
sensitive. Okay, so now we can, well, let's see. If we use rename, change the name of one file. The rename system calls blah, 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 okay.
That's the C. Man 3 rename or man 7, I think.
Okay. Rename command I found. Oh yeah, that's because I'm in a different, okay.
Oh yeah, you're on
yep.
Linux before.
Oh, okay, perfect. Here's some nice file names that have useful things that can be searched and replaced. So, I'm copying those file names. I'm copying the files over so that if I screw up the naming, I don't actually screw up anything useful or important. So I'm gonna just copy those to 0.4. Okay, great. So here we have all of these files, and these are actually like product photos that have the name of the product as the first part of the the first part of the file name and then the size of the image as the second part of the file name. So, here we have bracelets 1, and maybe I want to rename all of those to like, bracelet 17, but I need to rename 3 different files because they're each a picture of the same thing at different sizes. So here we are. So we can do find. Bracelet 1. Or bracelet 1 star. JPEG. In this directory. So here we are.
I think when you give multiple file paths to find, it'll look in each of those places.
Oh, sorry, I got this backwards. Yes, I need to say dot. Okay. There we go. Bracelet 1 star.jpg, no such file.
Probably dash name, I think.
Oh yeah, find dash name. There we go. All right, so let's do that again. Okay, so these are the files that we want to change. So they're bracelets 1 and 2, and we just want bracelets 1. So these are the 3. Okay, great. So now let's look at how rename works.
That's the syscall. But there's,
So rename files.
if you type perl doc rename, that might.
No documentation found for rename. Change the name of the file. That doesn't help.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, maybe dash H on command line.
Yeah. So how do you use this one? Rename from 2 files.
Well, so how it works is the first argument is the expression that you want to run,
Okay.
and the default variable $_ will be set to the file name that it's operating on.
Okay, and then
Yeah, so if you use a like s/whatever, it'll modify the default variable, and then all of the other arguments are the file names.
$1, $2, the fragments. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say if we wanted to rename. So the first part is the original file name, right?
Well, the first part is the expression.
Okay. So we want to rename bracelets to rings. Let's try that.
Okay.
So we say yes. Bracelet. Like this.
Yeah.
And then, oops. So then I say bracelets 1.
Yeah, star, I think will work.
Happen.
What did-
Certified bracelets to rings. PS. Nope.
What command did you run?
I just said, okay, I said rename.
Oh, but that's not a full file path, is it?
It's the current directory, so I guess I could do /.
If you just do star, it'll just rename everything that happens to include bracelets
To rings?
to rings, which will replace all of the bracelets.
Oh, I see, okay.
Yeah.
So if I do, okay, I see.
Yeah,
I
so you
see.
probably want a star in there somewhere.
Yeah. Like that? No.
Yeah.
No? Let's try just star. Or let's try dot if it's a full path. Nope.
What?
Um,
Was it plural bracelets? Okay.
Nope. That's the bracelets like that. Yeah, no?
What?
dash name.
Pardon?
You don't have to do dash name.
Well, this is, yeah, so this is just using rename, which, how would we, rename files like Regex and command line. Ah, okay.
Yeah, there it is.
There's a command called, and in this case you want to, so which will remove the first star character found in each file name.
I think we might have just misspelled something.
Bracelets.
If you can you scroll up again? Just
Yeah, I'm just gonna copy the text I want to replace.
okay.
Because typing in front of
Right.
a bunch of
Yeah.
people is really hard. Okay, so let's do that.
And then the dot, I think.
No,
I'll just do star.
star.jpg.
Yeah.
No, still no. That's interesting. Wait, where's this? Did I use double quotes? Should I do single quotes? Yeah, let me try single quotes. Nope. Oh my goodness. So this is not Ubuntu. That might be a thing. We can list rename -n, so let's see if we can do that. So rename -n is supposed to tell us which files will be renamed. None. Don't.
What about like changing the file extension, like JPEG to PNG or something? Not
Sure.
that.
Yeah. That. Nope. Interesting. No, it doesn't. It's not doing it at all. That's weird.
Oh, maybe you just don't have the same version of rename, or maybe it's a
Yeah.
completely different command.
Could be. So this is not an Ubuntu system. Let's see. Do I know? Man, this is a perfect example that would work really well. Really cool.
Yeah, I just tried that same kind of thing on my own system and it works.
It does. Okay. Could we get that on the screen?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think that's a kind of a really useful example.
Okay.
Let's see, so you can just plug
Yeah, I
in.
can just plug in
Oh,
HDMI.
except. Oh.
We've got an HDMI cable. Yeah, so if you want to see what the rename command working properly looks like.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it's very useful. I use it all the time for like if you want to manage your music collection or if you want to like do some TV episodes or something and you want to rename them because they're named in the wrong way.
Well, so what this is definitely proof of is that when you're using
renaming
regular
the file
expressions, there's a bajillion ways that these
Yes.
work differently in every different system. So I think, yeah, we gotta plug that in. Sorry.
So does the MV command not do regex?
MV, I don't think will. I'll try it behind the scenes, but yeah.
command. It just takes the source and renames it to the destination directly.
There's probably a set of pipes that you could run through like Find that that could get to that, but that seems like an entire weekend of work.
Yes.
Alright, so it's not up there yet.
Surrender auto.
Uh-oh. Oh, it's a button. No. No, that.
Yep.
Yay!
It's ridiculous.
It's nice that it's mounted up here though. Like, just use it. Just your. Nope.
Does it, Anka, is yours still plugged into the
No.
TV?
No, there's only one plug on the TV, so it's power saving. Uh-oh, no power saving.
Oh, well. I guess.
Oh,
It's okay, I think that you just
Okay.
Yeah.
communicated you without the
Yeah.
visuals and the text.
yeah. Well, and actually, if you are not running on an Ubuntu system, you will not be able to do this rename command anyway, so. But,
You can install it.
yeah.
It's written by Larry Wall. It's part of Perl.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh no. What is even happening? There.
Blue, it's coming, my computer just flashed, so there we go. Okay. Well, so we have this list of files, and we can go back to our other text. This is kind of a fake example here, though. But I did have to do something with this data, which I think at one time was in a different format. So I'm trying to think if I can go backwards or something. Or, let's see, why don't we make a list of these files and change the names inside our application, just to kind of make that example. Or I guess, do you guys have other questions? I've been talking for quite a while, and I'm not sure like what kind of practical next step you can take with this information. So I think Marina, you kind of have some ideas about what you want to do. Does anybody else have a question or something that you're? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm learning Node. While you're talking, I'm also looking at ways to do this in Node.
Okay. Yeah. So JavaScript has I think the command there is replace. So in JavaScript, you would basically use a replace command and put a regular expression there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
My question is, these are very cryptic. Do you use any methods to remember what you did?
I try to save them like the gist, so I've just recently started doing that.
Yeah.
Kind of like you have to comment them. I haven't been good at doing that. So definitely commenting what happened and saving it somewhere. If you do stuff in this online regex tester, you can save this regular expression so then you know. Let's see what it does when I save it. My unique link. Okay, sweet. So here I might then go into gists at github.com and save that. But I'm going to make a new one. No, I need to do gist.
Like right next to the shoes at the top. Next to the
No, I have to
sofa.
go to mine. Sorry, I have to click to mine. Am I not moved in? There we go. Right. just going to start one here. But yeah, so this will let you save this particular screen. You can just copy this. But the information that's useful is the explanation, because the explanation is the stuff that, like, you know, even like 3 or 4 days after I use them, it's sort of like, what was I doing again? But if you read it out, if you read exactly what it's telling you, then you can kind of get back to it. But yeah, you definitely have to save it and comment it. I use the internet a lot to remember how to do it. So, like, you know, there's regular expression. There's a bunch of references that I use. I have a O'Reilly book that's like a little tiny O'Reilly regular expression book that I use. Because this stuff hasn't changed since the 70s. So, thank goodness. But yeah, so like, you know, here is like, this regular expression, whoa, matches at least 2 spaces occurring after a period and before an uppercase letter is highlighted in the text above. So this is a fantastic example. Thank you, Wikipedia. So you can go fix your documents, because now we don't put 2 spaces after the period. You know, we're only supposed to put 1. So you could run this this regular expression to replace, actually in VI this would work really quickly, to replace all spaces or 2 spaces at the beginning of a sentence with 1 space. Wow. Yeah, so I use the Wikipedia and then my book and, you know, whatever you're trying to do. There's someone on Stack Exchange who's tried to write the same regular expression, but sometimes they're wrong. They're like 1 character off, and that makes a huge difference. So you kind of want to, you know, try out and figure it out. But being able to test this is important too. So you can see that if you're working in a JavaScript program, the syntax is slightly different for making it happen. If you're working at the command line, it's a little bit different. So you just have to kind of, you know, practice it in whatever medium you're going to be using it the most. So, yeah. Right. Anybody else? Yeah.
Just like trying to look at it from a really, really beginner's perspective. Like, what are some practical applications, or like when you first started using a filter or something?
The stuff that I did that I still do with regular expressions is like when I have a big text file and I have to modify a lot of stuff in there. So like if you're building websites or applications and you have to make test data, for example, you have a CSV file and you'll be in Excel and you need to, or somebody gives you data and it's wrong and you have to make massive changes to it. I use that a lot. So like if I have to create, you know, all lowercase versions of file names to create URLs or things like that, you can use it. You can use it for searching through your files, but I use it mostly for replacing text, because it does let you kind of extract a bit of a string and stick something else back in the middle without damaging anything around it. And that's where, in this example, you know, we can replace 2 spaces occurring after a period with 1 space, and maybe we can find a document that has 2 spaces after a period and try this out. And we'll go back to Vim because I know how to do it there, or VI. Okay, so. Let's see if this one has 2 spaces after a period, or just 1. This is just 1. Ah, shoot. This is a modern translation. Only 1 space. Oh no, here. These are all 2 spaces after periods. It's an outrage. We need to fix this. Okay.
Oh, the screen is a bit off to the left.
Oh yes,
for some
it
reason.
is. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the important part. We need that. Okay. Okay, so in VI, the way to actually run search and replace is, let me see, where am I here? Okay, so in VI or Vim, you put a colon there to start your command, and an S and a slash, and then you copy the Wikipedia example. So, and we'll talk through it in just a second, because Well, so there might be some cases where we do want two spaces, like where you're trying to format something, but that's not visible in this document. So this is kind of almost a little trivial case because we could just replace every double two spaces with no space. But what it's doing here is it's saying, okay, match. My God. So let's see. Let's translate this. This is actually a great exercise. Okay, so here we are at the cheat sheet here. So question mark means 0 or more. So
That's a special kind of thing. I think
When you
it's
do a
a
question mark. Oh, it's a
it's
non-capture
a
group.
look behind assertion.
It's a non-capture group here, right? So
No, it's a even more esoteric than that. This one, I doubt this one is gonna work in Vim because it's full of all kinds of weird stuff. This is something that only works in certain engines.
okay.
So if you do perl.perl ref, you can see this is a zero width positive look behind assertion. That's what that first part means. This is maybe not the best example.
Okay, well, all right then. Damn it.
But if we want to replace,
we could do this, right?
yeah, we could just replace two spaces with one space, right? By just hitting spacebar twice.
Yeah. Well, but what if I wanted to replace two spaces before a capital letter?
Oh, right.
Let's do
Yeah.
that.
So if
Yeah.
you just get rid of that other part.
So I think we can just get rid of this.
Yeah, that's
So
weird.
now we're, okay, so this right here, 2 comma, this
Or
right here is a number.
A space before that, right? Because
So
that's a
here's space.
quantifier.
Oh yes, the space
Yeah.
is important. So here I have a space. So we're going to match a space 2 times, or 2 or more times. So if there are 2 or more spaces, let's just do exactly 2 spaces.
And that's a look ahead assertion. So instead of doing that, we could just make it a capture group and then use $1 in the output.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
right. Okay, this is perfect. Much simpler. Okay, so 2 spaces and any capital letter. So then we're going to replace the 2 spaces with 1 space. There's 1 space on this side and 1 space on that side, but that one has a curly 2 after it. And then $1 $1 is referencing the capture group. So the capture group is this thing in parentheses, which is any letter between A and Z. So $1 says, keep that letter, just put it back when you're replacing it. But we don't know what it is, we don't care what it is, we're going to do every letter. And then we're going to go hit enter. Pattern not found, oh dear.
So one thing about Vim is that it's using a different kind of engine where you have to put a backslash in front of certain characters like parens. You might have to do that. If you just go up arrow, I think it, yeah.
So backslash here?
Yeah, and in front of the other paren. You might also have to do...
Even though it's a capture group?
No, yeah, in front of parens. It's weird, I don't know.
Okay.
Vim has a weird engine. You might have to do that in front of the quantifier as well, but just hit enter to see if it works. Nope. So instead of the quantifier, you can make it dumber by just using 2 spaces.
Yeah, all right. That doesn't, it's less exciting.
I think it's representative of using regular expressions though, because...
No, I think there's something else here. Something else is going on. This is VI.
Oh, okay.
So it's not Vim, but...
oh, yeah, I don't even know.
Okay, so it does find the 2 spaces.
One thing to note, I guess, is that there's like so many different flavors of regular expressions, right? Like every language essentially has their own regular expression library that kind of goes back to like the regular expression library that's in C.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because there's things that are the same in most places, and then there's like these the parts that bind the parts together are different. Okay, so let's see. We can definitely match we can match a space and then 2.
Does that work?
No, pattern not found. What? Oh, I have to do N. Oh, I think it's like this. No? Wow. Oh, I have to do
You might have to put a backslash in front of in front of each brace. So if you do space, backslash, open curly to backslash, close curly, that might work. Oh, but without the last two characters.
Without the /G?
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
there we go. All right.
So yeah, with Vim and a lot of older regular expression engines, you have to put backslashes in front of every kind of meta character because they were designed to run a use case where you're typing literals more.
Ah, okay.
But
all right.
Yeah.
That's
and then
the opposite of what I was saying earlier.
with experience, people decided that that was stupid, and that meta characters, like that the
Yeah.
converse way of doing it is better.
Yeah. So basically, okay. So we're unescaping, we're re-escaping, escaping backwards, being trapped, something like that. What's the opposite of escaping? Okay. So now we can try replacing the. Well, okay. Let's match the space, blah blah blah, to. And then backslash, oh my god, A-C, backslash, close.
Oh, I don't think you need to do that for character classes for some reason.
Okay, let's try that. Sometimes you just have to do, to try every possible combination. Yes!
Yeah.
Woo! Yay! Okay. Regular expression missing. Doesn't like that. Okay, well let's try changing this here. So now we're going to change the two spaces with a space and then I guess a backslash $1.
We have to put a capture group in front.
Around this, which does need that.
And either $1 or \1,
Yeah,
which is a
and-
back reference.
Oh yeah, that's right. So let's try that.
And that, when you do :s, you're only changing the current line, but if you put a % in front, you change every line.
All right. Oh my God.
At %s.
%s. Is it %s or %.s? No.
Just %s, I think.
Oh, you can also do like 1.10 or whatever, like so you do the first 10 lines.
Yeah.
There's something there. Oh yeah, woohoo!
Yay!
27
Yay.
substitutions.
So that's what regular expressions are good for, making 2,000 substitutions.
Yes.
in
So
very,
as bad
very specific
as
things.
bad as that was, compare how much time it would take to do those 2,000 substitutions by hand.
Yeah. If and if it wasn't like yes, we can do something more complex than two spaces though. So I didn't watch all the way to the end of your talk, but do you have like an example where you do something more complex with text like this? Or?
No.
Okay. I wonder if we could. So we're still in VI. So we've now replaced. We fixed this file so that pedantic internet people who really don't like two periods can feel good about it. And it looks like this also.
It's double spaced too.
Yeah,
We could fix that.
we don't like double
Oh, that's
spaced.
hard though, because the line issue.
Oh yeah, the line break issue.
So forget doing that.
Nope.
We could replace all of the section. See how it's like section 1, section 2? We could replace that with something different.
Yeah, but that's still the same word, the same text. So what if we wanted to? Oh, this is all a pre-tag here. It's not HTML, which is great. Okay, here. Oh, right. Okay, so here we have H2 align center and H3 align center and some line breaks. Maybe there's some HTML that we can fiddle with. So yeah, messing with HTML is like a really good use for regular expressions because HTML, you can parse through it using regular expressions. So maybe like, maybe we can change these anchor tags, letter 1, letter 2, letter 3. So the word letter probably appears in this book where it's actually used as a letter. Let's see if we can find it. Okay, so here somebody has begun their letter, and here we have a name, letter 2. So we don't want to go through and replace all of the words letter with something else, but we only want to replace the ones that are either anchor tags or the anchors themselves. That one also could be pretty simple because you just search for a name equals and replace it. You could use that. And this isn't really regular data, but like so other scenarios is where you want to replace line breaks with other things or other combinations of things. Let's see. The HTML is like super boring. There's like nothing in here that's like. You could fix the line breaks. That would be one thing.
We could also see if anyone has any other questions.
Yeah, that's right. Does anybody else have a question or something you want to explore?
Yeah, like, I'd like to put something, kind of beginning to learn note on it. Because I feel like it's hard when I do it from the command line. I just forget it. I can't look at it on what I did. Or I guess I would have to put it in gist. So, like, I guess it's actually easier to learn how to do regex when you're programming. The command line stuff is hard. Like, all the people that are good at it, they just seem to, it's like there's, like,
Yes, you spend all day looking.
There's sysadmins, yeah.
Yes.
So I get kind of lost. So.
We can look at some htaccess files and see how rewrite rules work.
Oh, okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Do you have a question or a comment or? Okay.
Are you trying to actually use Node, like, are you asking to programmatically in Node use regular expressions, or did you want her to mess with the htaccess file? Are you going to do it through the command line?
I'm gonna look at a text editor for that. I don't know how to do JavaScript regex, so I guess I could do it.
I was just remarking.
Yeah.
As someone who's I've struggled with regex over the years, and it's just always hard. I guess
it is.
Oh, it's not just me. Yeah.
No,
it's
like,
not.
It's
so just as learning for, I'm just wondering, like, sometimes it's just hard to absorb it. So I like your selection. It's like really, this is really important. It's just.
Yeah, it's I haven't tried to frame it anyway before, so I think I have a lot of ideas for the next group that I talk about this too. So yeah, I think specific examples I think might help where it's like a non-trivial case. Because like replacing the two spaces is interesting, but something where it's a little bit bigger, a better example might help. And unfortunately, I'm kind of nervous speaking in front of a crowd, so like all my great examples are like, I don't remember where it was, and stuff like that.
You're doing great.
You're doing great. Thank you. Yeah.
So maybe like instead of specific examples where I feel like bogged down by the details of how to write these complicated things from the 70s, which are surprisingly still around us. Is there anything to like manage the complexity of this? Because obviously, like you kind of mentioned it before, like you have to save stuff in gists, but like that doesn't help maintainability or like really writing them, or like obviously they're useful. I mean, being able to programmatically search and replace thousands of files in an instant is great after spending some amount of time writing it. But is there anything since the 70s that people have developed to like universalize regex in some way? Because we have like we've ran into like 3 or 4 different dialects already. Is there any way to like make it maintainable in the code base? Like, because every time I run across a regex expression, I go and cry and like, is there anything like have we developed at all since the 70s? Like, is there anything?
Well, I think that's stuff like this, like these little online parsers and things. Like there's ones for testing your htaccess rules. So people do build these little visualizations. And I think that, the specifics of these, like if I was writing a PHP application with a regular expression, I would use this to kind of help me figure this out. But in the general sense, I don't think there's anything like that I know of besides going through and like memorizing it. There's not that many rules to it, but they're just really, really hard to read. So it's a very, very compact way of describing this stuff, which means that you have to create the mental structures and like use it enough to remember how it works.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you do it?
So, like, from my own experience, I learned this stuff when I was learning Perl in high school. And for me, just practice. That was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Just practice.
Yeah.
That's it. Just use this stuff a lot, and then you'll just be able to read stuff like that, and it will make intuitive sense.
It's like reading Japanese.
Yeah.
It kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
But much easier, actually.
Well, yes, because like there's fewer things to remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's certain things about programming that you just have to memorize, and some of these, like this, you may not have to memorize something like this. Like, you might just need to be able to go and find, an online tool that lets you explain or expand it. And there's, helpful people that will help along the way. And I get through it by just trying out different permutations. And I know that even if I spend like 30 minutes trying out every way of backslash, greater than, or backslash question mark, or backslash 9 or D or whatever, it'll still take less time than doing something manually. But if you do it a lot, like if you spend a lot of time doing text data analysis, databases, you'll wind up using this stuff. So the main thing is to know that it's here and it's possible, and there's ways to do things that seem overwhelming much, much faster. So especially if you're like, working with large data sets like civic data, stuff that the city of Oakland puts out, where they might give you a CSV file with things that aren't ready to do what you need to. Like you can manually turn a CSV file into a JSON file using this stuff, which may not be super practical, but rather than writing a JSON parser to suck it up and spit it out. But yeah, I mean it's here, and it'll help you with massive text transformations that you have to do. So yeah. Yeah.
Resources that you recommend for
Pardon?
Are there any other resources that you recommend looking at?
Regex the hard way.
Regex the hard way. All right.
That's a good one. He writes a lot of good books that
Yeah.
are rules.
Yeah, learn things the hard way. Yeah.
You could spend the next 10 years just
So this is actually, this is great. Oh my gosh. An in-progress book that quickly teaches you regular expressions. So you can go through here, and maybe before I do this workshop again, I'll read through this and take some of their examples.
There's a
I
lot of
love
good
that
stuff
one.
on there.
When you
too.
Yeah.
read a line of
Written a lot
code
of
like
good books.
this, you probably actually see just a bunch of random junk all smashed together.
Sweet.
He's pretty funny. He,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
You
so
like
you
his
type
sense
on
of
the
humor
hard
while
way.
he teaches you. It's hilarious. I
Yeah.
like his books.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, ZHR is awesome.
He
Oh.
says stuff you want to say, but you'll get in trouble.
Pardon?
He says stuff that everyone wants to say, but they'll get in trouble for it.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't try to make sure that you know that he's smarter than you, which is really nice.
Oh, he doesn't?
No, like I've read the Python the hard way book, and it's really, really fun. Like, so yeah. Yeah, and there's just, the stuff that's like, you hear things like, regular expressions is a symbolic language that describes how to identify a sequence of integers, or more practically characters, as matching a required set. This is where like a little bit of the math comes into computer programming, where you need to know a little bit about what a set is. I mean, I don't know when that comes into the math education, but it's a very small subset of mathematics in a way. And then he says this makes them easy to learn, given that you actually put in the time to learn to read and write them. So it's not complicated, but there's just a lot of it, because you just have to sort of just keep practicing. Is there like a... Yeah, so here's how he describes it here is, so you look at this which says name.match. So this is some code, probably Python. Name.match means the name needs to match some pattern. And you can do this with like, is this an email address? This is one of the most used regular expressions. But here he says, okay, so what if you could read this expression in a way where everything was a sentence? So this little guy means from the beginning, the square bracket means a set of characters containing, so just like how James was saying it earlier, any digit, the letter A, dash the letter through the letter Z, end of the class, one or more, any digit to the end. So $sign is like to the end of the line or to the end of the thing. So now it's a sentence. So that's much, much easier. But you see there's not that many parts of that. So you can kind of, well, you still have to think about what that means, but it's a lot easier to read when you decompose it like that. So yeah. But yeah, this is good. So, you can start, what the hell? The giants in tiny parts, in tiny pants problem? The problem is that all symbolic languages is an expert in them, that sentence is hard to read, can eventually describe everything as one gigantic equation. They start with something simple and go back as they tack hack after hack to handle more and more edge cases. Yes, this is the regular expression to determine whether or not this is a valid email address in RFC 822. The top 6 lines of all 82 lines in this one regular expression. Dear Lord. Yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks. This is a really great reference.
It has all the books on there.
Yeah. Wow. So he's got a lot of cool things learning the hard way.
He has more than those too.
Ah, cool.
There's
Python
also a programming
SQL.
motherfucker. That's another one that he did, and it's an even bigger list of this stuff. It's a good one. That's what it's called.
Programming motherfucker. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's great. It's just a giant list of books, including the site back to Learn the Hard Way.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So we should add these, should we add these to the workshop list or something?
Sure.
Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and so I can give you like a pull request on your
Yeah, that would be
workshop.md?
fantastic. Yeah.
Nice, all right.
Sounds great.
Cool, okay. So maybe I'll...
Yeah, I also linked a Regex cheat sheet. I think cheat sheets are fantastic for Regex.
Yeah, the cheat sheets are absolutely, you need the cheat sheets. Yeah, yeah.
James's guide on the workshop page is really good.
Okay, great.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks,
all.
everybody.
Thanks, Anka.
Yeah.